image fades up as dust rolls across the parade ground. Boots strike cracked concrete in perfect rhythm, each impact echoing with tension. The air is sharp with the scent of polish, sweat, and unease. Recruits stand rigid, uniforms crisp, equipment gleaming under the harsh light. Among them, a young woman swallows hard. Her fingers tremble despite her effort to steady them. Her name is Sarah Hayes, and today is inspection day. A long shadow stretches toward her as the colonel advances down the line, his gaze cold and methodical. Whispers ripple through the formation. A few recruits smirk, already certain of what's coming. Sarah's boots are clean but not mirror-bright. Small scratch mars the surface of her rifle. The colonel stops. Silence crashes. Down as his boots halt directly in front of her. "Cadet Hayes," he says slowly. "Care to explain why your weapon looks like it's been dragged across gravel?" Soft laughter bubbles up around her. Someone murmurs that she's finished. Others scoffs at the idea of her being a real soldier. Sarah tries to speak, but her throat locks. Heat rushes to her face as humiliation floods in. The colonel exhales sharply, disappointment etched into his expression. Failed inspection. Step forward. Her chest tightens as she moves out of formation, every eye burning into her back. The laughter grows louder. Even the bunkmate she trusted won't meet her gaze. The colonel marks his book while the whispers turn cruel. She should have stayed home. She doesn't belong here. Sarah stares straight ahead, fighting tears. Her father's voice echoes in her mind, calm and steady. "You don't need to be the loudest, Sarah. Just be strong in silence." But in this moment, silence feels crushing. The colonel flips through his notes, then pauses. His eyes lift to Sarah. Again, something changes. Without speaking, he reaches for another folder, hers. The laughter dies instantly. The recruits sense the shift as he studies the file, stern features tightening before softening into something unreadable. He clears his throat. "Cadet Hayes, stay where you are." Confusion ripples through the ranks. After a long moment, the colonel looks up, his face hard as stone. "You think this woman doesn't belong here? You think a failed inspection makes her weak?" His voice booms across the ground. "You have no idea who stands before you." No. He snaps the folders shut. "It's time you learned." The parade ground falls utterly still, broken only by a flag snapping in the distance. Sarah feels it deep in her bones. Something is about to surface, something no one expected. The colonel grips the worn leather folder. "Cadet Hayes," he says, turning to her. "Do you know what this file says about you?" She shakes her head, bracing herself. "Before ever setting foot here," he announces, "this cadet completed 3 overseas tours as a combat medic. She survived an ambush that destroyed her entire convoy. Alone, under fire, she pulled 6 wounded soldiers to safety one by one through enemy crossfire." Gasps spread through the formation. "She was shot twice," the colonel continues. Eyes locked on the platoon and still refused evacuation until every soldier was out. No one breathes. Her commanding officer called her a hero. The word hits like a strike. Memories crash through Sarah's mind darkness. Gunfire, screams, the weight of bodies slick with blood. She never imagined hearing it spoken aloud. Not here, not like this. One cadet stammers that they didn't know. The colonel whirls on him. "Didn't know," he roars. "You mocked a scratch on her rifle, but you didn't see the blood she scrubbed from weapons in real combat. You laughed at dull boots, but you didn't see her wading barefoot through mud with wounded men on her back." The color drains from the cadet's face. "Inspections matter," the colonel says, his voice lowering but no less fierce. "Discipline matters, but courage, integrity, and heart matter more. And this cadet has more of all 3 than most of you ever will." Air feels heavy, charged. Arrogance collapses into shame. The colonel steps closer to Sarah. "Hayes, I don't care if you fail inspection 10 times. I care that you don't quit. When this platoon walks into hell, you'll be the one who brings them back. I know it." She nods, pride and relief swelling in her chest. For the first time, she feels seen. Turning back to the platoon, the colonel commands, "From now on, You will treat Cadet Hayes with the respect she has earned. Learn from her. She has already paid a price some of you aren't ready to face. Number 1 laughs now. Some avert their eyes. Others look at Sarah with something new. Respect, inspection resumes, but the mood has changed. Sarah steps back into formation. Her heart is heavy, yet steady. Silence no longer feels like weakness. It feels like power. The next morning, the sun rises harsh and red. The recruits line up again, but no one whispers, no one smirks, glances. Drift towards Sarah, uneasy and thoughtful. She stands tall, aware that respect is fragile and must be earned again. The day's test is an endurance march across brutal terrain. Full packs, scorching heat, and no falling behind. The whistle blows. As cadets begin to stagger, Sarah keeps a steady pace. She's endured worse. Halfway through, one of her loudest critics slips, his ankle twisting beneath him. He collapses, unable to stand. Orders bark to keep moving. Sarah hesitates just for a moment, then slows. She hoists his arm over her shoulder and drags him forward. Her knees tremble. Sweat blinds her. But she doesn't stop. By the finish line, her muscles scream, yet she lowers him gently. He looks at her, humbled and shaken. Shh. He didn't have 2, he whispers. No one gets left behind, she replies. Not ever. That night, the barracks buzz with quiet awe. The cadet approaches her bunk, apologizes. Sarah meets his eyes calmly. Apologize by learning to carry others when they fall. The words stay with him. Days later, the final obstacle course arrives. Mud, ropes, walls, freezing water. Test. Meant to break them. Midway through, a smaller cadet slips from a rope, dangling above icy water. Panic sets in. Sarah doesn't pause. She climbs, locks herself in, and pulls him to safety through burning pain. Cheers erupt. She finishes the course. Exhausted, but unbroken. The colonel addresses them one last time. You came here thinking this was about polished boots. You've learned it's about something far greater. He gestures to Sarah. Strength is refusing to quit. It's lifting others when it costs you everything. Applause breaks out. Raw and honest, Sarah says nothing. She doesn't need to. The camera closes on her mud-streaked face, eyes steady. Breathing heavy but controlled. A voice cuts through the quiet, sometimes. The ones we laugh at are the ones who will save us all. Fade. Too black.